Cool, and we are live. All the people online miss the really cool stuff that happens before we go live. Like there was so much stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sorry guys online, you can't miss all that. Did you buy your camera? I saw you down there looking at the camera. Yeah.
Looking at so many.
Yeah. Welcome to OnSet. It's first session, I guess. I'm Daniel Norton, this is Dave. And today we are doing, did everybody have a nice week off last week? Did you have a nice week last week? Yep, did you eat cheesecake? I also did not have any cheesecake, even though I said I was going to. So, I know. There's a big holiday where there's a lot of cheesecake consumed last week, right? I didn't get any. So I might try to get a slice this week. I know it's a little late, but yeah. Oh, is there? Oh, City Bakery? Yeah, City Bakery, nice. So if you've ever come to New York, people, by the way, we're live streaming. So we live stream, so I have to talk to the live stream. My mother's watching. So if you ever come to New York, City Bakery is right over here. They don't give me anything to say that. Maybe I should get like a little deal going on. But it's very good. Kind of, it feels nutritious, even though it's definitely not. Like it can't be nutritious. No way. There's no way that stuff is good for you. But anyways, today we're going to talk about action and freezing the action or using blur. Basically, different ways to photograph movement. Part of that we're going to use flash, and I have a flash system set up over here by Hensel, and part of it we're going to use some constant lights, and then we're going to mix them together and kind of create some fun stuff, hopefully. We do have a dancer slash model task person coming, but who's not here yet, so Fernando's going to be are you going to be the model? Okay, good. Fernando, by the way, is an expert martial artist, and he's going to do some really cool moves for us. He's often used as a stunt double in movies. The most recent one, Wonder Woman. It's amazing what they do with the CGI now. No, he wasn't really a Wonder Woman stunt double. Anyways, has everybody seen Wonder Woman? Have you seen this yet? It's supposed to be really good. Yeah, have you guys seen it? I know, me neither. Do you want to just not do this and go watch Wonder Woman? I don't know. We can do it after, though. Yeah. Okay, so here we go.
We don't need a second session.
No, we're ready to go. So, number one, we're going to start using flash. So I will say the equipment that I'm using as I go, but as always, I will stop doing it for like 5 minutes into it. So if I don't say what something is, please ask and I will tell you. Or if you have a specific question about how something works, this is very loose and you're here to learn. So as long as it's somewhat relevant, I will do my best to answer the question. So we're going to use flash. The reason why we're going to use flash to start off with is because we want to freeze motion. And the way that flash works is they'll hear me talk about a term called flash duration, which is basically how long the flash is firing. So no matter what you have your camera speed set at, whether it be at 1 second or 125th of a second or whatever, the flash duration of the flash is effectively your shutter speed if no other light is affecting your shot. So if you're in complete darkness, at least as far as the camera is concerned, and you fire a flash, that flash duration is your shutter speed. And what that means is with flash durations, in like 10,000th of a second, stuff like that, you can actually really, really stop action. That's kind of the power of flash. So we're actually using a Hensel light today. Did they tell you how to pronounce it?
Cedo.
The Cedo, which has a tremendously short flash duration. I think if you turn it all the ways down, because generally your flash duration is the shortest when the unit is turned way down, it's something like 100,000th of a second or some crazy thing, which we will not need because while Fernando is fast, he's not that fast. But certainly it's going to be over 1,000 or whatever, which is much faster than you could normally shoot. Because even you start thinking about like 250th of a second seems really fast, but if something's moving quickly, you're not going to really be able to freeze it. So flash really gives you that ability to freeze action. So we're going to start by using flash. But the way we're going to guarantee the flash is giving us what we want is we're going to eliminate all of the available light in the space. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to set our camera up so when we make a photo, and we're using a Nikon D5, when we make our photo, we'll get a black frame, right? Okay. That's cool. We should like get ready and stuff. All right, that's cool. Yeah. I'll just pull somebody from the audience. Are you a dancer? You've done some dancing in your day. Yeah, I could tell. Yeah. So.
I don't want to do it in front of everybody. I could, but I stand up there for you and jump around.
Will you?
Sure.
That's amazing. All right, awesome. See? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set ourselves up so that we have a black frame. The way we do that is, and this is the same, if you've ever come to one of these things where I use Flash, I go through this every single time because when you're using Flash, this is just what you should do. Set your ISO as low as it goes within the normal range of your camera. So in this case, it's 100 ISO. Set your shutter speed at the maximum synchronization speed. In this case, it's 250th of a second. For your camera, I don't know. You'll have to look it up. It's usually around 250, 200, 180, somewhere around there. If you go faster than that on your shutter speed, you will not synchronize with the Flash. And you may have situations where you have like half a frame exposed and you have like a black line. You may have seen that before. That's probably what's going on. There is a thing called high-speed sync. We're not going to talk about that. So once a year, or maybe twice a year when I do the advanced Flash class, we talk about high-speed sync, which is basically allows you to go over the synchronization speed. But not every unit does it, so we're not going to use that. We want to stay as generic as possible so everybody can participate. And I don't think this unit does it anyways. So 250th of a second for this Nikon, 100 ISO, and the third part of your exposure triangle, that third kind of number that makes you get your exposure is now your aperture, right? You've got shutter speed, ISO, aperture. The way we establish our aperture is several ways. I'm here every Thursday, so I kind of know what it is, so I'm cheating a little bit. But you could either just put your camera on around f8 or f11, somewhere in the middle of the range, and take a picture and look at it. You could use the meter in your camera, and you get a little light meter in there when you're in manual mode, and just dial it until it shows it really, really underexposed. Or you could use a handheld light meter, and what you're aiming for is about 2 or 3 stops of underexposure. So we know, because we're here all the time, around f8 should work, so we'll just go there and we'll start at f8 and we'll take a photo. Maybe you already did that. Did you do it already? You did that?
We're at 11.
We're at 11, okay. So we're at f11, and okay, there's f8. Yeah, no flash. So now I'm in capture 1, by the way. You can see up here that we're seeing the shots coming from the camera directly. Just so you know, I'm working with people, because I get questions about this a lot. I'm working with, I guess, Phase 1, who's the one that put it out to do a Capture 1 class here. So if you guys are interested in Capture 1, pay attention to the schedule, because we're going to do something coming up on that. And we'll get more in-depth into it. But essentially what Capture 1 is allowing me to do is see my files immediate. I can also control the camera and do other things with it, but for the most part, it's here so that I can see exactly what we're getting. And what we see right now is a black frame, which is perfect. But just as like a final little bit, what I like to do is I come over to my adjuster here. Okay, this is just like if I was in post and you're in Photoshop or something and you want to adjust your photo, same thing. I'm gonna grab my exposure adjuster and I'm gonna pull it over until I start to see something. It's usually better if somebody's standing there, but we can see there's the background, right? Okay, so that's roughly 4 stops, because I'm looking at, it would take me 4 stops to start to get light back here. You guys can see that, right? It's like kind of a little bit of stuff there. It's like yellowish. So that means I'm about 4 stops underexposed, which is great. I mean, you could probably be 1 stop underexposed and be okay, but by being 4 stops underexposed, now when we shoot our photos, I want to bring up my shadows or something, I can do that and have that movement. So 4 stops is more than enough. I usually shoot for like 2 to 3, but since we're 4, we're fine with 4. This is a powerful light, we're not gonna have a problem. So now the next step is we want to bring our flash into the situation, right? So again, I have this Hensel Cedo flash. Yeah, it's really heavy. Actually, there's a sandbag on it, which is probably making it more heavy than. Product placement. Okay, so we got the Hensel flash. So basically, I have a bunch of controls on the back. There's a number here to set my power level, all kinds of junk that we're not going to talk about. But basically what's going to happen is, Dave can do it remotely. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our light and we're going to place it pointed at our subject, who's going to be Fernando for now. We're going to mess with this a little bit because we're going to do movement, so I kind of want to loosen space. Normally when I'm lighting somebody for portraiture, I want to get my light as close as possible. Right? Having the light close to somebody is going to make the light source larger. Larger light sources. Softer light is generally preferred for portraiture. But because he's got to move around, I want to get more spread. I'm going to back it up a bit. So we're going to back the light up. This is the Shimira 2 foot by 3 foot softbox, a Super Pro Plus. I'm doing so good with this stuff. Every time I mention a brand, I get 1 penny. Oh, hey, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
This is
Alnisa.
Alnisa.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Alnisa. I like that. So Alnisa is, we just found her on the street. No, she's actually the model slash dancer slash actress. You're something. You're whatever you want to be. right? So she's gonna do various things for us here with movement, and you've got a nice dress so it'll fly around and stuff. So this is Dave, by the way. I'm Daniel. So we've got her here. Right now we just want to establish a basic exposure though. So I'm gonna use, I know this is the one time of year that I use this, so get excited. I'm gonna use a handheld light meter. Basically this is a Sekonic light meter, it's a 478. What you do is you basically put in your shutter speed. I can talk to this camera, right? Yep. Okay, so you see I've got my shutter speed and aperture up the top, right? So I pre-program that in, and then when I fire the flash, it's going to give me a f-stop. So I'm gonna put it in the mode, oh, I'm in the right mode, good. So it's in non-corded mode right now, meaning that Dave's gonna fire the flash. You can look towards the camera if you want. Generally speaking, there's a couple of different ways to use a light meter, and there's probably 1,000 videos online that'll tell you different ways to do it, but there's basically two ways. You can either point it at the camera, which is gonna give you kind of an overall reading. The reason for that is the dome is curved, right? So if I point it here, my light's over here, it's gonna get some light, some shadow, it's gonna give me somewhere in the middle, or you can point it at your light source to get an exact reading of that light source. You know, you can do it either way, and with one light, either way will work. I'm gonna point it at the light though, because I tend to like to do that. So I'm getting a 10, F10. You're a perfect 10, right? Is that still a thing? It is, right?
Lower the power.
Yeah, so we'll go lower the power, because we don't need that. We want to get, no, raise the power. We want F11, right?
8.
Oh, you went to F8. We're at F8. Okay, so we're gonna lower the power of the light. 7.01, so bring it up half stop, I guess.
They're not full stops. So
Yeah. 8.02, that's probably fine. So now I've got F8. So essentially when you're working with a flash, that's what you do. You figure out what you want your setting to be, you meter it, and you adjust your flash power until you get that setting. Now theoretically, if we take a photo, Alnisa, and she didn't even do it subtly, so that I wouldn't be real that I didn't remember her name. Apparently last week I called the girl the wrong name the entire time, so yeah. Her mother was really mad at me. So Alnisa's here, and we're gonna basically take a shot of her, Dave is, and we're gonna see what we get. We should get a properly exposed photo. Questions so far about that part? There we go, flash went off, it sounded very good. Oh yeah, there you are. Okay, so it's properly exposed. It may not be actually, I might leave the shadow in there because I kind of like that. We're getting a shadow from what though? Is that the Irie back there? Yeah. I think the shadow's okay. Now, if you find that you have a shadow in your shot and you don't like it, because some people don't like shadows, what you'll do to get rid of it is you'll just move your light, right? So if I move my light more to the side, the shadow will continue to creep off that way. But I kind of think it might be fun because she's gonna do some shapes, we think. You're gonna make some shape? Yes. So I think the shadow will be cool. If we decide we don't like it, we can always adjust later. That seems like a proper exposure. And since I'm in Capture One, again, I'm seeing the actual photo. So there she is. I'm gonna blow it up really big because models love that. Yeah, they love that. Yeah, that looks properly exposed. Yeah, you look good. Easy as that. If you found you didn't like that exposure, it was too bright or too dark for your taste, you could then adjust your light accordingly, right? You don't have to be a servant to the meter, right? The meter is only giving you a base, then you adjust to what you want, because we're in manual, so we can adjust all we want if we want to adjust either our exposure or the light itself. But I think this is pretty good, although she's probably going to be moving. Maybe you can be somewhat stationary in the first few shots, meaning you can move in one spot as opposed to across the field. Okay. If we wanted to move across the field, then I would take my meter and I'd measure in various spots to make sure that we get like an average, right? Because obviously she's going to be brighter here than she is here. Cool. All right. So that being the case, so we can see that it's nice and sharp because she's just standing there. But we should also be able to achieve a very sharp photo even with her moving. So that's what we're going to go for, right? We'll have her do something. Oh, you can move really fast.
Okay.
We can get some air. Yeah, there we got some hair going. So, right, we get the flash. We can capture the movement, and the flash should basically freeze it, and it does. Right, and we can see very easily, even at only 250th of a second, because the flash duration is so short, we're able to now freeze the action of her moving. Yeah, does that make sense so far? All right, easy enough. I think I want to have her move across the field though, so maybe we can. So if we I'm going to feather it forward, maybe. We got a lot of power in this, right? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to shoot it towards the audience more because I like to do that. And the reason why I'm going to do that is I want to get this like edge of the light, the feathered part of the light. Although that's probably not going to hit her over here though, so maybe I can move it forward closer. Right? Actually. Yeah, we're going to remeter it. Okay. So what we're going to do is, yeah, because you're going to come like, yeah, that'll work. All right. So I'm going to take the light meter and I'm going to get a couple of different shots. And this one I'm going to point it forward. And what I'm really going for here is just making sure that it's even as possible. Okay, so it drops off by just about half a stop across the field, which is not bad. Half a stop is probably well within the range of the camera, but it is down to 5.6 now though. So we got to bring it up a stop. Right, so our base exposure is going to be 5.6. It gets a little bit hotter. Not 5.6, 7.0, so another half stop. There you go, F8. So it's gonna fall off, right? If you want to let it really evenly, we'd have to, get the light way back there or whatever. For this purposes, it's going to be half a stop is well within the range of what we think is pretty good. Now what we're going to do is have you move like, can you do like a small leap? Are you right leaped? Oh, okay. Does it matter which direction you're going? Well, I don't know. I was told you could do flips and everything else. That's what I was told. I mean, that's what your resume says. You can do it, right? Yeah, you got the flavors. You'd be like, wow. I mean, if I can do it, yeah, like that. Can you be higher though? Or maybe you need to be lower because I don't think we're getting enough of her. Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Now, one tip here is going to be, we might want to pre-focus it, or? Yep. Okay. Is you're going to want to pre-focus, right? Because even though autofocus systems are really pretty good, if somebody's moving like that, it can be really tricky. And plus, we kind of want them in the spot that we want them in for our composition too. If you're shooting a sports thing and somebody's going across a field, that's one thing. But if you're shooting it in the studio, I generally would try to pre-focus where I know I'm going to want to take the shot and try to work with the model to kind of choreograph it to be the right area. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So now, because one of the things too is yeah, there we go. You got her in focus, and she's sharp. Now, one of the things here, and we're freezing. Was that your foot? Wow. Her foot's like. Whoosh. All right, so that's pretty cool. Maybe stick. Yeah. Exactly. So maybe try to work your face towards the light. Yeah. Okay, a little early. Or late, one or the other. Timing is key here. Okay. Yeah. So it's gonna take a few shots to get what you want, and just work through, talk with your model, work with them. That's pretty cool. And again, one of the things that I talk about a lot when we talk about using flash too, or even studio photography, people love to, this is this is like a 2.8 lens. It's like really expensive, right? People love to shoot a 2.8 because they spend all that money, but the thing is, there's no need to shoot a 2.8 in here, right? We want to shoot closed down because she's moving, right? Your lens is going to be sharper, deeper into the thing. So don't try to just, who cares if the background's sharp? It's a piece of paper, right? If you're shooting this for a project, you would put a brand new piece of paper. Adorama only gives me one roll of paper a year, so we didn't cut a fresh piece for this, but we can't do it every week. We'd be out of paper. So, I might start a GoFundMe to get another roll because we're going to start running out. Okay. This is all true. So you're looking at me like, okay. Right? This has been the same roll since you started coming, hasn't it? The same roll of paper, yeah. Yes, I don't make that. Yeah.
So why don't we use a close down the aperture? Why F8? Like F11 or something?
We could do F11 if we wanted to, sure. A reason that you might not want to do that, it shouldn't be an issue with this particular light. The more powerful your light is, the higher up you are in the power in the light, the slower the flash duration. So there is this kind of fine line where you'll start getting kind of a slower flash duration with some units. This is actually designed for high speed stuff, so it's probably totally fine even at full power, but we can do that. We'll go F11, should be easy enough. Or you could go ISO 200, you know? But if you start adjusting your ISO or your shutter speed, you have to be wary of the light in the room. So we could go F11 at 200 and then see if although actually that would be the same math. So yeah, so it wouldn't matter. So it's too early for me to be doing math.
How short is the light?
I do not know the exact flash duration of this one because it doesn't say on it and they didn't give me a manual. But it's pretty short.
At minimum,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, minimum it's like 100,000. Yeah.
It's longest is something like 5,000.
Yeah, it's really, really short. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know of any light, except for the Broncolor lights, that actually tell you on them what the flash duration is. There probably are other lights that do it, but there's a Broncolor pack that actually tells you when you do it.
This tells you in the
It tells you like at the different settings, but actually the Scoro
Yeah, on
tells you on the pack. So when you do it, it actually, which is kind of cool if you care about that. Oh, is that the range? Maximum 2,000th of a second at maximum power. So that's still pretty good. So yeah, even if we went full power, which we wouldn't be yet, we could still be. So you want to go F11 just to see if we get more depth? So there's a lot of things you can do if you're not getting enough depth, right? One thing you can do is, want me to meter it again?
Yeah.
One thing we can do is,
Right, so you want to change to go for higher power, right?
yep. $11. Boom. Dave's good like that. So now we're at F11, right?
So what is the recycling time? The reason I'm asking,
Really fast.
why don't we put it like, for example, on 5, 7, 10 frames per second, and then you can get a few shots rather than keep.
Well, that's a good question. So why don't we just like put the motor drive on, right? Why not? Because when you're shooting something like dance or movement or sports and it's something you're in control of, you should be, we're just kind of showing technique here, so we're not getting into it, but you want to look at the scene as a choreographed piece, and there's only one part that is the shot, right? And when you put your motor drive on, it's not shooting all the time, right? It's shooting, which means that you could miss the moment because you did that. So I don't do that, ever. I just don't. I mean, I know that a lot of camera manufacturers and photographers will tell you to just motor drive it. I don't do that. I think most people that actually shoot sports don't do that. Sometimes they'll shoot a couple, but not in the studio. You know, when she reaches the top of her leap, that's the shot. I don't need her going like this, building up to it. I don't need that. That's not gonna be a good shot. If I was at a skate park shooting somebody just doing a skateboard and I wasn't in control of it and they were always doing different moves, I'd motor drive it, right? Here I'm in control, that's why I don't do it. Yeah, but we could though, it shoots really fast, so you could put the motor drive on. You could do it, we just don't do it. That's not part of how I like to shoot. But that's why. I'm old fashioned like that, what can I say? Film's expensive. I just found that you miss things when you do that, you really do. Some cameras are really fast, like this is like a gazillion frames a second, so maybe you'd be pretty good. But my camera's not that fast, I have a Leica. It's very slow. Other questions? Cool, all right, so let's try some, I kind of want to do, well, let's do that. Let's shoot a series of photos since it was brought up. And actually, and yeah, what's that? Yeah, put it in the motor drive, or do it like this. Because even if I'm gonna shoot a series, I probably wouldn't use the motor drive. I think I would still click, click, click with my finger, just because that's how I like to do it, but you can put the motor drive on. The lens? The lens? Okay, the lens, it's a 24 to 70 Nikon with a lot of letters and numbers after it.
It says GED.
GED. It's a GED lens. That's what you do when you don't finish high school, but you still need that degree. You get this lens. You think I'm making that up? It's real. All right. All right, ready? All right, so we're gonna try. We're gonna go with the motor drive, see what it does. Ooh, a spin. That's fun.
Just like that.
Cool.
And then what we'll do. And then if you start moving, you know, like.
Are you gonna turn into Wonder Woman while you spin?
Am I going to turn?
Turn into Wonder Woman, because doesn't she spin to turn into Wonder Woman? Does she not do that anymore? Am I like? That's how they did it in the 70s. Right? No? Okay.
Let's see if I can pull it off. Let's go low.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that'll work.
Yeah.
Whoa. I can lower the power.
Yeah, we made it to go F8.
I'm at F8. We go.
Okay.
We go 5, 6 real quick.
Okay. All right. Now we're trying to we need to match up the speed of our camera. Whoa. Well, don't do high speed, do slow.
Okay. It's really slow.
Well, it's really powered up, yeah. So basically, you know, when we're like over half power on the light, so it's not going to be super
No, I mean
fast.
the camera.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Do it by hand then.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why I don't use a motor drive.
Faster by hand.
Yeah. This is why I don't use a motor drive. It just doesn't, you know, like it's never the speed you want it to be. Although, actually, this camera, you can control the speed of the motor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know how to do it, but I know you can do it. It's like a,
All right.
if there's a Joe McNally blog post about it, so go back to his blog and you'll read how he does it. It's pretty cool, actually. You can actually control how fast or slow the motor. Do you have the same camera? Oh, yeah. I don't know if any other camera can do it, but I just know this one can. All right, so Dave shot a black frame again because we were adjusting our aperture. We want to make sure that we're still getting that black frame before we start. And then we're going to get,
Okay, ready?
yep.
There's some that was missed.
Yeah,
On the power.
we get some, yeah, it wasn't ready.
Yeah. So I'll probably have to still go 5, 6. Then.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so, oh, you didn't go to 5.6? Yeah, go to 5.6. Yeah, this is all going to be making. The other thing we can do, which we're not doing because we didn't have to before, and you may not always be able to do it, is you can turn off lights, right? If you're going to be doing this kind of stuff and you want to use less power, so we can kill these lights here, maybe. There we go. Or these ones, I think. Well, actually, no, that's probably fine. We're modulating our light source, right? We want to make sure that again, when we shoot at 5.6, we don't pick up too much of the ambient light in the space because then we'll get blur, which we're going to do after. We don't want to give away too much at the beginning. We gotta, gotta feed you it little by little. All right, so we're looking for that balance, right? We want to get fast enough recycle, but enough power so that we keep the room dark with the light. I'm ready. There we go. That felt better.
At some point,
Yeah. So you got the motor drive. Oh, she's getting too close. All right. And you realized it. So, but you see the problem, right? Unless you have this like motor drive that never stops, like basically you're shooting video, you're gonna miss moments, right? So, to me, I always feel like you're better off, manually doing it, but. Right, I mean, you could even do this. Let's say that you were going to do this, right? That you want to do that. You like the motor drive. So maybe I would do it once, and then I would look at with my subject and be like, you know what? That I like. Let's just do that, right? Because now I can get every frame in the cool shot with her just doing this, and then I don't have to waste 1,000 frames with her spinning around. The whole spin is not good. There's only one part that's good, right? I mean, you can pick whatever part you like. Maybe you like that part better. I kind of like that part. So, and I get to pick because I'm in charge. Yeah, right? And then we can just nail the part of it that we want. So, again, choreography is going to be important when you're doing studio stuff like this because you want to pick the part that's good. The whole thing is not going to be good. There's just that part that's good, that you like. Cool. Other questions? That was a good question, though. What do you think? Could you do a better job than her? How about as a photographer? Do you want to take the pictures? We have to kick Dave out, though. No, you get to be the photographer.
Oh, yeah. That's
All right.
okay.
You're like, you could have been. You didn't volunteer. All right, take over. All right. So,
Am I supposed to start?
I don't know. Are you ready?
I think I did.
That's pretty good. Yeah. So what do you want her to do? Let's get something going that's going to be good. Can you get some air too? Can you like jump while you do it? Yeah. There you go. Is it better with mirrorless cameras? No. Yes. Oh, well, no. Why would it be better? Your camera is still going to have to take so much time in between, except for when you're using electronic shutter, and a lot of electronic shutters don't allow you to use the flash with it. So you couldn't really actually do it. Yeah. So no, basically. With the Hasselblad can do it, yeah. But generally speaking, no. It would be the same thing, essentially. I mean, whatever camera you have will be the right camera. Okay, so we want to get her while she's in the key part of the light, right? Maybe come sideways, like have her do the dress and be like, right, and you want to look off towards the light?
Yeah.
Okay. Towards the light, Caroline. There we go. Okay, so can we go a little wider with the lens maybe? Or is that all the way? All right, so one thing you might want to do, especially if you're in a smaller space, is work with a wider lens and just shoot wider than you need and then crop it, right? Because it would be, like this would be great if we didn't lose the top half of her head. So I have a 80 gazillion megapixel camera here, so like it doesn't matter, I can crop it, like who's gonna really care? So try that with some space around it. The important part is just as long as your subject doesn't cross the border into the, yeah, you could probably maybe even go lower. Yeah, there you go. See, now we got more room. We can see more of her. So then there's more room to crop. We can just crop into it if we need to. Plus, we're obviously shooting horizontally because we're in the space here. Cool. All right.
Previous to that, she didn't have shadow behind her, right? So
Sure she did.
She did?
Yeah. Yep, she did. I mean, I like that
Now,
shadow. Yeah.
You do?
I did like the shadow. If you don't like the shadow, the way to get rid of it would be to manipulate your light more to the side. So we could get rid of the shadow. Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. Yep. Well, I don't know if we'll get it black, but we can basically take our light, right, and try to keep it off the background as much as possible. One of the beauties of using a softbox, right, is that my light is a little more directional here. It's probably going to hit that part of the background, but I think it should stay more or less off. We do a little quick meter here. So where are you going to be? Where's her spot?
That's good.
That's the spot? Okay. So if that's her spot, I'm going to kind of feather the light off. I'm going to bring my light meter in. You can just take a picture, I guess. That's the easiest way to do it. Good. Okay, so I'm 5.6. That's what the camera's set at, right? All right, so let's try that. That's like every Polaroid ever when I was a photo assistant.
That way you have it in the photo.
There we go. Now you've got more of a side light. We want to get rid of the shadow altogether. We'll have to move it back even further. Okay, or just go for it. There we go. Right. Okay. Let's get some better light. So I'm gonna come a little bit more from the side, and we're gonna kind of tweak it forward a bit. Okay, try that. Is that better? Still not quite there. Oh, look at me.
I like seeing you in these pictures.
Yeah, I know, I'm like there. It's actually kind of interesting. We're getting this like half lit background, which is kind of fun actually. Yeah, we got a little lens flare going on too, because you're a little too wide, that's why. Okay. I don't have a grid, there we go. We're getting lens flare. Okay, so, all right, so now she's side lit. Okay, that was good. I'm kicking you off now. We're gonna try something. Yeah, well, let's flag it off. We're gonna get the background dark. Nice, good job. So we're gonna flag the background, try to keep some of the light off of it. And she can come a little more forward. And maybe even go at a trajectory like a little bit like this. Yeah. So we're gonna just like shape our light, and again, find that one spot where it's gonna work for us, as opposed to just trying to generally work over the whole thing. You wanna be proactive when you're shooting, right? You don't wanna just like try to react to whatever the person's doing. Talk with your model, get them in the right spot, get them to be doing what you want them to do. You're in a studio, you're set up, you're lighting it. You're not just randomly shooting. So we're going to use a flag because we don't have a grid for this, so we're going to just try to keep the light from hitting the lens.
We're asking about if rear sync would make a difference in any of this.
So there's a question online about using rear curtain sync. So rear curtain sync is when, did you just run? She ran away because she doesn't like rear curtain. So rear curtain sync is when the flash fires at the end of your exposure. So essentially, the shutter opens, you get the light, right before it closes, the flash fires. That wouldn't make a difference here at all because none of the ambient light in the space is affecting our shot. So all that would really do is black out our lens while she's doing the movement and not allow us to choose the moment to shoot. So actually, it would be probably bad for what we're doing. It is useful for some things, but not really for this. Because again, we're looking for that moment, and we can't see the moment if our shutter is closed. Yeah, there's times where it's useful. I mean, the classic example of rear curtain is people use it when, if you're going to use flash and there's like cars going by in the background so that the headlights are in front of the car versus behind them. Like that's like or the tail lights. That's your classic example. In the studio, I don't use it that much, but I will say this: whenever I'm mixing light, like ambient light with strobe, like we're going to do here, we'll try it both ways because sometimes it's beneficial. The only problem is if you're doing a long exposure and you're trying to track somebody through space, you kind of can't do it with the rear curtain. You have to do a wider shot or have them not move. It works well if you do some certain special effects. Like we did one video where you zoom the lens, because then the person's not moving. You're zooming the lens, it's a fixed thing, you don't have to be able to see it, right? So it just depends on what you're doing. If you're trying to track somebody through space and catch an exact moment, it's not going to be great. But if they're stationary, you can do it a lot easier. Cool. All right, so we've got the light now, so we're going to try to keep most of it off the background. And if not all, we'll see. And that's going to allow us to, not have the shadows. And it's going to make it a little more dramatic as well. Going to get ready to get drama? Yes, there we go. She's got the drama. Yeah. And we're going to actually add that area light in a minute, too. Actually, I'll set that up. We're going to add a little blur. That's how we like to do it. Questions, thoughts, concerns? No? Not a single question? You moved like you had a question. Yeah, okay. You just want to be the photographer again. All right. So we're getting the background dark. How is the background going to be dark? You can kind of see Dave's aiming the light very, very far off to the side, right? This is creating, that's kind of interesting. It's flaring a little bit, but yeah, I kind of like the flare as well, right? This is creating a really heavy side light. We're keeping all the light off the background, which is making almost a black background, right? And the flag, you're going to add more flare. Oh, didn't really do anything. Yeah, actually, I think you're right. So we're going to create a really, really heavy side light here, which should be really fun, and then we'll use this one from the other side to add a little bit of blur after. Yeah, like a ghost. So what we're doing now is we're just getting the light off the background. If you had a grid, which you've probably seen in the shoes before, for the softbox, that would help a lot. We don't have one of those today. Can I spin the light? This light? Better? Okay. Okay. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So you're going to be going into the light, or away from it, into it, I think is going to be good. So since that's the spot, right, where it looks, well, actually turn towards it with your face, so let's see what it looks. I think it's going to be like profile, right? Ish. I do like my profiles. So we're going to see basically the way, yeah, that's really pretty. So if she's leaping towards the light, so you want to end around there. So you want to maybe start here and then move towards the light, and then we'll catch you in the air. When I say we, I mean Dave. I'm just going to stand here. I'm not really doing anything. Yeah, there we go. That's kind of cool. So obviously, though, we'll work it a little bit. The lighting is really beautiful because it's showing awesome texture on her. But of course, she's only got light from one side, which is interesting. Oh, that's kind of cool too. Yeah, again, the nice wide shot. We can always crop into it, you know, if we want. This is going to allow us to get more of her. It's kind of a nice, beautiful light coming across. What you want to make sure of is that she's completely on the background and not being crossed by the light if you're going to do a wide shot like that. So, but I think what I want to do is add a little bit of ambient light. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to introduce this Arri Fresnel, which is basically a 300 watt constant light. And when we introduce this light, right now, unlike the flash, which has the tremendously short flash duration that's setting our speed, with this we're going to have to adjust our shutter speed to compensate for this light. The shutter speed will end up being much slower than what that flash duration was, which will cause probably a blur. Again, this is where a rear curtain might be interesting, but it will be really tricky to time it. So I don't think we'll do that. We'll try it just to see what it looks like. It wouldn't be the first time I said something and was completely wrong. All right, let's turn that on. Well, I mean, you can only light or work as a photographer with what you've done before, right? That you set everything that you've done based on previous experiences, right? So in my previous experience, the rear curtain has not worked well for that. Does that mean it will never be good? No, absolutely not. So always keep an open mind when you're doing things. So we can see at our exposure we're set at now that basically the light is showing up, but it's not really affecting the shot still. They've made another basically black frame. So now we're going to adjust our shutter speed. I was going to make it all complicated, but I'm not going to. We're going to adjust our shutter speed to start to pick up some of this ambient light. So you should go into your final spot where you're going to be, right? And then we'll actually point the light at you, make sure it's hitting you. It is, right? Yep. That's pretty good. And then we're going to make several exposures using the ambient light, right? So depending on where we want it to be. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that's our ambient exposure, right? Now if we add the flash to it, so the exposure is a 30th of a second, which actually isn't even that slow. So we're at a 30th of a second right now. Now we know that at a 30th of a second, if she jumps up and down, she's going to be blurry, right? We don't have to show you that because you know that's true, right? So now we add the flash, though, to see what they do together. And remember, though, we're using a tungsten light source. You can already see it on her skin tone. It's nice and warm. So we're going to have like a mix, right? The flash is going to be cool or neutral, right? And the tungsten light's going to be warm behind her. And if she's moving at a decent pace, it will definitely cause a blur, right? Now,
You may need to go slower, but we'll have to kill the
yeah, I think so. We're going to have to kill these all together now. Yeah. We don't want to, we want to be in control of our light. I mean, we could just open up for the light that's in the space, but this light is not necessarily pretty for us. Sorry, online, that is now dark. But, you know, that's the way life is. You can just... So now we're going for a longer exposure. Oh, that's nice. What is that? That is... Oh, 1/8. That should be enough. Try to just move. Don't use the flash. Just see what that does. Because now let's get a move with the 1/8 of a second. Right? So we can see that she's basically blurry. Right? That's what my pictures look like if I've had too many drinks. Right? So that's nice and blurry. And now we're going to add the flash to freeze the action. Right? So we're going to have this essentially what they call pop and blur. Or if you did rear curtain, it would be blur and then pop. Right? Which doesn't sound nearly as cool. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. Questions about that? Oh. Wow. That was, I could tell that was Dave. That was a Dave jump. There we go. All right. So now we're getting, again, and this is going to be a matter of playing around, catching that exact moment. Oh, kind of cool. And we want to watch where the different light affects, how it affects her, so we can improve each frame. That's pretty cool, but I think her face just has to be further away. I tend to not like a lot of blur on the face, personally. And again, that's a personal thing. So you know, and it comes down to catching it. Yeah. Oh, it's very interesting.
Oh, that's the
This is really interesting.
Yeah, that's the LED lights. You didn't turn them off.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool, though. Okay, so there's these like green LED lights here, which I planned all along, by the way. I came in here this morning. I programmed in these LED lights to catch. No, yeah. What? Eighth of a second. Yeah. All right, let's turn them off. Actually, let's make them blue because that's the Adorama color.
That's not much. It's so low.
Let's try it though. Yeah, not showing up. Okay, so we have to go longer on the exposure, which isn't going to work for us.
Okay.
Cool. So just kill them. All right. So we're killing those lights, even though they were cool. I actually kind of like them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I kind of like the green.
Yeah, me too. Crank them.
So those are like weird LED lights in the ceiling.
That's what was hitting her in the face too.
Yeah, that's also what's hitting her face though. So no, we won't turn it on. We'll just pretend you didn't see that awesome thing. Actually, if you want to experiment with these things, they're super cheap too. I think they were like $30 or something. You can't see them online probably, but they're in the ceiling. They're actually DJ lights. And we bought them originally to light the space, but they're not very powerful. So that's why we don't usually use them here. But yeah, at an eighth of a second, they show up. Cool.
Not bad.
Yeah, I think just maybe a little. Can you have a little bit more forward movement as you do it? So like a spin and a move, like forward to you, like this way. That way you cause like a
Okay.
yeah. You want to get like a stretch. Stretch Armstrong. Right? Oh, interesting. See? Okay, cool. Oh, weird. All right, try again. Let's see what we get. It's creating like a. The dress is really cool. Let's go. Can we go even slower? Let's just see what we get. Yeah, like a stop slower. So to like, would that be like a quarter of a second? The slower you go, right, the more blur you're gonna have. It is gonna eventually start to introduce much more ambient light though from this space, because obviously we're not completely blacked out in here, so you gotta keep that in mind. But for now, I think it's pretty good.
Also, if we angle.
Okay. Gonna make a slight adjustment to the light. Questions? Thoughts? Do you want to jump? Is that what you want to do? You've been waiting to do it all day. Mm-hmm. All right. 1/4 of a second. 1/4 of a second, ISO 100, and I believe we are at f5.6. Don't screw it up. Okay. You got always positive feedback.
Maybe.
Okay. Let it go. Okay. Throw it.
I like that. Oh, that felt good. Yes, it did.
Ah, nice.
There you go. So, what's interesting here too is, right, this is actually when she landed. So like if you were trying to get, which is pretty cool, but we can see now though, again, the flash is firing at over a 2,000th of a second, right? So even though our shutter speed is at a 1/4 of a second, so we're getting this blur here, if only the flash hits her, she's frozen, right? So we could, well, could we? Can we get, yeah, with a flag we could probably do it, right? Now, is this bouncing? Is that why it's hitting the background? Or do you think I can flag it? It's bouncing off the white, right? Let me just see. I'm gonna flag this. I want to try to keep some of this light off of her.
I see a shadow.
Yeah, what's that from though? That's from the store. Yeah, uncontrollable source. All right, well, we'll do what we can.
I think that's actually
Most of it, yeah. Well, let's just try this anyways because I'm standing over here. I don't want to have stood somewhere for nothing. I'm holding a flag. Okay. So. Okay, cool.
He's trying to hide from the camera.
I'm hiding back there.
It's a cool pose though. Look at the silhouette.
But see, this side of her, we didn't get anything. So I think either, she probably wasn't in the exact same spot either. Try that thing you did here. Can you do that exact same thing again? Not yet. Okay. All right. Nah, it's still getting her back there. Yeah, that's the light from the store, as Dave pointed out. Sometimes you don't have any control. You know, we're not in a completely blacked out space, unfortunately, but it's still pretty good. Awesome. All right, so let's try. What do you think, Andy? Not bad, right? By the way, if you have any used equipment that you want to sell to Adorama, we buy it, right? You're about to buy a new camera, right? If you brought your old camera in, they would give you money towards your. Okay. Oh, she's on it. She knows what she's doing. So there we go. So yeah, or if you're online, you can send it in, I guess, on the website. Yeah. So we do buy used equipment, and I should always mention that because we love to buy that stuff. Me in particular, but also Adorama. All right, ready?
What are we doing?
We have to get a good shot. People are very anxious to get a good picture. Do we have any questions in the last few minutes before we? Actually, why don't we do this? Can you pan with her? I mean, I know you can. Go in tighter with the lens and pan, and not so get so much background. Okay. All right, so we're going to do a pan, not Peter Pan. Or that's the only pan I can think of. Sorry. So when you pan, essentially, what we're doing is. Actually, this is where rear curtain sync is going to come in. Now we're going to rear curtain sync it. Because basically what's going to happen is she's going to start her move. We're going to fire the shutter. Dave's going to pan with her as best as possible. He's not going to be able to see through it, so it takes a little skill. And then the flash will fire at the end, and we'll get a perfect exposure, and it'll be like the $1,000 day rate advertising shot. Right here at Adorama. Or not. But yeah, so again, rear curtain sync means the flash is going to fire at the end. The reason for that is if it fires at the beginning, she'll be on the wrong side. And we can actually do it both ways so you can see. Because if we fire the flash when she's over here, then she'll actually, her blur will be in front of her, which would be weird. Oh, to go into rear curtain? Oh, actually, you might not be able to rear curtain with an off-camera flash. Sometimes you can't. I cannot remember if the system allows you to do it. Some do not allow you to do it with the radio on top. Let's just do first curtain, just to see what it looks like. Because maybe it'll be awesome.
So on the Pro Photo, you actually do it for the remote.
Right, but we're not using a Pro Photo, though. Yes. This gentleman works with Pro Photo. He wants you to buy that, so he's... No, I don't know. Not every flash can rear curtain sync with their radios. They can usually... Okay, there we go. We'll see if it actually works. Because sometimes it doesn't work unless you use the sync cord. If you use a plug-in sync cord, you can always do it. Well, I should never say always. You can probably do it. Yeah, that was a rear curtain. That felt good. Oh, interesting. Okay, I think less spin though. Since you're rear curtaining, we're gonna have to be more linear in your movement. That way, pretend there's a puddle. We can actually make a puddle there. Let's put my coffee on the ground. I think she landed before it fired, but okay. This is where timing is tricky.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, that's getting there. Yeah. Yeah, for a curtain, that's pretty nice. So you can see you get your blur happening first. Try first curtain just to see what the...
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Get her facing this way totally and then go snap the other way.
It's like a weird shadow. Well, yeah, you can also, what you're saying, do first curtain and have her jump backwards? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's first curtain?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't that much of a difference. A little bit. See if you can jump backwards. So that way you'll fire and then you'll jump.
You want me to start here? It's like we start.
No, start there and you're going to jump this way.
You want me to pan? But it's still...
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just see what will happen if that happens, because who knows. You'll probably be too bright, though. I think you're too close to the light. Back up a little bit. Good, right there. Test the exposure there before we do anything, right? So we want to see, essentially what we're going to do is, it's a smidge bright. Yeah, right. So when the flash fires, jump. Or do you think you should do, maybe you count it down or something? Or just jump and Dave will shoot it.
Jump and I'll.
Dave will just shoot it when you have to. Oh, interesting.
So then just,
Well, try to stay facing the light though.
try
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
like maybe even try
yeah. You want it, yeah, just jump straight back. Exactly like that. Dave is the expert rear jumper. It's one of the skills he picked up over time. Oh, it's interesting though. All right, so let's do it without screwing it up. Oh, not bad. Don't be afraid though. Or at least don't look afraid. I don't care if you're actually afraid. You still got to be backwards though. There you go. Yeah. You made your hair longer. Oh, no. It's kind of an interesting thing, but it would be better. I think we have two faces. Oh, no. Yeah, because you're covering your face too, so. Cool. Questions about this? So now she's jumping backwards. So we're doing first curtain, right? But it's allowing us to control it a little bit better because we can actually shoot it when we see the good moment, and then the blur happens after, and it kind of looks like we did it the other way because we're cheating. There we go. That's a good one. And it's even sharp. Yeah, so there you go. Little reverse rear curtain, first curtain mix up. Patented.
Control in the camera or
Yeah, usually, so the question is how do you control it? Usually in the camera there's a setting for first curtain, rear curtain, or no flash, I guess, or would be the other setting. It depends on the camera where it is exactly. Sometimes a flash unit itself will have it on there. As mentioned earlier, the Profoto one, for instance, you press the button, at least on the Canon remote, and it goes to rear curtain. But I think then that kind of stuff to do inside the camera. Questions? You have a question from the back? No, just hanging out? No? Okay, good. Did you want to jump? It's super fun. All right. Want to jump? Can you jump backwards?
I don't know.
Yes. All right. Do you want to jump forward first to make sure that you're okay jumping in the heels? So you know you're okay jumping in the heels. She has no problem. Oh, and she's in a white outfit. So, yeah. Yeah. Why not? Oh wow. The white's really cool. All right.
try moving forward, try just like walking through the space.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
Slow
And
and
then-
fast.
fast.
Ooh, interesting. You might have to dial down the exposure.
Yeah, the rear curtain would be.
Yeah.
That'll be good for the. Like,
So now we're rear curtaining it because we want her to be out of the blur, basically. You're like a phoenix.
Natural hair.
Nice. Is it? It's beautiful. It's nice hair.
just like walk fast and confident.
Oh, that's a good question. So why are you crisp on the on the strobe side? That's because with when the flash fires, if none of the ambient light is affecting the shot, the flash's effective shutter speed is its flash duration, which is somewhere between, with this strobe, somewhere between 2,000 and 5,000, probably where we are right now. So it's like you're shooting at like a 2,000 to a 5,000 shutter speed on the strobe side, right? Because none of the ambient light effectively is hitting her on that side, or next to none. Yeah, none. Look how sharp that is. So that comes down to just control, right? Like if we were just to not fire the strobe and take a picture of her standing there, she'd only be lit from the back. There we go, okay. There's my hand.
Okay, so try like a.
Good? Oh,
So yeah, just short.
Do it long.
Yeah, longish is better. So the longer the exposure, the more time she'll have to walk. But again, we have to balance that out with the idea of the flash. If eventually, right, if I went to like a 3 or 4 second exposure, there's enough light on this side that she'll start to get blurry on the flash side. So we have to just balance that out. We want to keep all the ambient light that we can from the flash side. All right, we're going for it. This is it. This is the one. Okay, again, we're using rear curtain, right? And the reason why we're using a rear curtain sync is because that's allowing us to start our exposure here. The ambient light is lighting her at a really slow speed, right? So it's causing a blur. And then when the flash fires at the end, it's nice and crispy. Yeah, we just need to get a little face and then we got it. Yeah. Oh, that's cool, but it's just maybe a little more centered. See, here she's getting a little bit of the ambient light on her. Let's see if we can get it off. I got confidence. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, timing is the tricky part with the rear curtain. Oh. Yeah, the other way to do it would be to fire the flash manually, right? We take the flash off of the shoe, we do our exposure, and then when she's in the right spot, right? This is a trigger, right? So we can try that.
You want to do that?
Let's try it.
Okay. You want to go longer?
Yeah, let's go a little longer so I don't screw it up. Actually, I'm not going to screw it up. You do it. Press that button when she's in the right spot. The one in the back. Yeah, not the self-destruct button. No, that's self-destruct.
Which button do you want to press? This.
Yeah.
I have no idea why.
What?
We probably have to raise the power on it.
Okay.
By stop.
Oh, because we have to go. Okay, so we're going to raise the power. I'll just do that manually. So she doesn't hit the self-destruct button. Then we're going to close down the lens a little bit so we can do a longer exposure. Because here we want to get as much exposure as possible, right? Don't screw it up. All right. Whoosh. Okay, that's half a second. So let's see. Go stand right here so we can get an exposure. So just stand there for a second, like you're going to be. So right sideways, facing that way. Boom. There we go. Take a picture and fire. Oh, too late. There you go. Cool. Actually, it's a little hot on the strobe, so close down a little bit because closing down is never a bad thing. Give ourselves some more time.
Okay. Ready?
There we go. So again, we're balancing it. Shutter speed to give us the right exposure with aperture. All right, here we go. You ready? Yep.
You can hear the shutter, right?
Now come stand up here.
Sorry, like
Left or right?
No pressure. It's not like people are watching or anything.
And then to start back from the beginning?
Yep.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Nope. You got to give it a little bit. Half a second.
Okay.
Wait till the camera fires.
So I'm waiting after him.
Yep. He fires,
Okay.
and then before half a second.
You want to be as close to the second foot, so.
Right.
Okay.
You got it. I got faith in you.
Ready? Here we go.
That felt pretty good.
Yeah.
That felt actually really good. Look at you, nice and sharp-ish. But it's got a little bit of blur here because there was a little bit extra exposure. But yeah, nice and long. All right. Must be serious. Serious business here doing photography. Don't screw it up. Okay, a little earlier than expected. You got it, last one.
Okay.
We're almost out of film. It's the last piece. Nice. All right, try this. As soon as he fires it, fire it twice.
Okay.
pop, and then a pop again. A double pop. We're getting very fancy now. Yep. Oh, actually, in an attempt to fire it twice, you actually did the best job so far of firing it once. And then we got nice and sharp, angelic, glow. You look beautiful. Done. Good job. No, do it again. And I feel bad I didn't let you do it. Go ahead, do a double one. Do you mind doing one more time?
No, not
Are you sending us a bill for this after the modeling bill? Okay, good. She's like, I don't know, I bill by the hour. I don't know. I'll stay as long as you want.
No, I think we got,
It's not long enough.
yeah.
You can. The better way to do it might be to do.
Because I had to crank it up.
It's not fast enough. Yeah. Try it one more time. Doing it on the camera so that way you get one instantly. Okay, go ahead. I'll do a second one just because I feel like it. Go. Oh, it's Rick Curtin.
Nice.
Which is interesting. Also not bad. Rick Curtin.
See, I hope that's it. 36 little LCD.
Questions before we wrap? Not that kind of wrapping. Yep. All right, so we're doing first. There we go. Oh, nope, did it. No,
Close.
moved a little too slow.
Yeah, that was it.
All right, we're trying for a double pop here. So in order to orchestrate this with such a short exposure, no, the flash isn't recycling fast enough because of the F11. Yeah. All right, so we can't do it because the flash is not recycling fast enough. You'll have to attend the multi-pop session that we'll do in next month, and then you'll give us. We'll do that one then. But yeah, I think we're good. If there's no questions, we ran a little bit long, but it's all right. Questions?
No.
Thank you for coming up here.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
You did a good job too. I don't want to make you feel bad.
No,
But
I-
okay, so next week we're doing interviews, how to light for interviews. So if you guys are filmmakers or aspiring filmmakers or just want to know how to light an interview because you feel like it, that's what we're doing next week. The week after that we're doing speed lights, which is always a fun one. Speed lights, small flashes, people love that. You love speed lights. You're here all the time for speed light ones. So thanks for watching. Oh, this Sunday is the street fair.
Yeah.
Do you know about the street fair? Oh, there's gonna be popcorn.
I'll be shooting one.
Just Seth will be here shooting, doing his thing. It is 10 to 4. 10 to 4, does that sound right?
I'll be shooting here 10 to 3.
Yeah, so basically we got a street fair going on. If you guys want to come down, if you're in New York, if you're not in New York and you're watching online, you got time to get a plane ticket, just come down. New York's always nice. It's gonna be 90 degrees on Sunday. It's gonna be nice. They'll open up the fire hydrants. They don't do that anymore, right? No, okay. Yeah. Somebody does it. You do it. Yeah. The city doesn't do it, but you do it. All right, so you're gonna come and open it for us. All right. So we'll be here. We'll have the fire hydrant open. I'll wear my shorts. It'll be nice. And thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you next time, I guess, next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hard